Ecology Extended is an interdisciplinary collaboration between ecologist Dr. Rich Blundell, myself, artist Rita Leduc, and the Hubbard Brook Experimental Forest, a temperate montane habitat. The project uses the ecological dynamics of nature to create a radical new ecocultural paradigm of listening and belonging. To accomplish this, we combine a curriculum of ecological principles called OICA, a site-specific visual art practice, and participatory engagement with the natural sciences, place-based or indigenous knowledge, and recent advances in cognitive science. Ecology Extended makes a few claims. Number 1, the ecological dynamics inherent in nature are implicitly ameliorative and transformative. Number 2, by entering into a participatory relationship with nature, we can be healed and transformed. Number 3, the ecological dynamics inherent in nature are implicitly creative. And number 4, we can use the creativity embedded in a relationship with nature to extend transformation into culture. The first instantiation of Ecology Extended is with the Hubbard Brook Experimental Forest in the White Mountains of New Hampshire. The project is supported by OICA, the Hubbard Brook Experimental Forest, and Brodo, Art Climate Science. The project began with a tour of the forest. Lindsay Rustad, lead forest ecologist, provided an overview of the research happening at Hubbard Brook. Together we explored the 8,000-acre temperate woodland valley, including 9 experimental weirs that measure a range of ecological and hydrological metrics. This was followed by 12 days of immersive fieldwork where we exercised our individual practices as well as shared them with each other. Our overarching goal was to open ourselves to the forest and listen. This may sound trivial and unambitious, but when one succeeds in this goal, a cascade of insights and creativity follows. As we hiked, researched, played, listened, and engaged in our various forms of art, we established a rapport with the habitat and discovered different modalities circulating through the shared ecosystem of materiality and consciousness. This yielded deep senses of interconnection and belonging. We left the forest both embodied and enacted. In other words, in addition to dissolving the mind-body dualism, we perturbed the inner-outer divide of personal identity. This period of time filled us with ideas, experiences, emotions, understanding, and in some profound ways, the forest itself. This is not a metaphor. The forest shifted into us, and us into the forest. Save for an encore visit in the middle of winter, we have not been working physically at the Hubbard Brook, but we keep the project alive within and between us. For me, part of this means working in my home studio with the visual data I collected on site. There, I weave together experience and memory, but also implicit knowledge and imagination. This liberates the on-site experiences from their physical location and allows conversations to expand and evolve off-site. Using abstract languages, the artworks reify conversations I had in the forest with human and non-human collaborators alike about baselines, tipping points, passion, reciprocity, trust, and expanded consciousness. While I use visual languages to nurture my relationship with the forest, Rich is perpetuating his conversations from the perspective of an ecologist, natural history guide, and writer using the language of ecopoetics. We communicate with each other frequently, nurturing the project and following it wherever it leads. So there's this very real triangulation of Rich, Rita, forest that we sustain, holding this thing that exists not fully in any one of us, but in the liminalities between all three. It is through these relationships that we keep this thing going and growing, but also through these relationships This thing we hold together is keeping us alive, healing and transforming us. This is the ecological intelligence of Hubbard Brook Forest extended into our lives. So the question now is how to extend it further. How do we transfer these feelings of understanding and passion and reciprocity and kinship? Right now, the forest is plugging away, growing, adapting, giving. How can we? What we can say is that Ecology Extended has worked and is working because it replaces trust in the world. When this happens, when we are willing to open ourselves and listen and share and play and be vulnerable and true, we find ecological intelligence. Currently, this intelligence says to offer a variety of entry points to engage culture. So we are creating physical art, developing a tokenomic model for the blockchain, leading workshops, giving presentations, engaging in conversations, and extending this model into additional conservation and restoration projects. The video that follows, The Life Cycle of a Mushroom, is an example of this multifaceted approach. It is the first of 4 ecological interpretations that Rich is creating for each of my 4 paintings and their corresponding gifts. It offers but one of the insights of ecological intelligence that we gained through our relationship with Hubbard Brook. Our hope for this video, and Ecology Extended writ large, is to embody precisely this insight: creativity in the service of continuity. Thank you and enjoy.
This is an Oika interpretation by Rich Blundell of The Life Cycle of a Mushroom, an oil painting by Rita Leduc. What do I see in this work? Fecundity. A biologist will tell you that fecundity refers to the capacity to bear offspring. Oika sees fecundity as creativity in the service of continuity. This art was made with and within a matrix of intelligence. Mushrooms are the fruiting bodies of a mycelial web strung among the detritus of life. Life invisible, until it's not. Each individual mushroom is continuous but not equivalent. They are the expression of a distributed vitality that embeds itself in the world, in the artist, in the art, and in the audience. Mushroom fecundity manifests through shape, color, form, and texture. Shape, color, form, and texture. Fecundity implies surprise, a conspiracy that can obliterate notions of individual hubris. So don't talk to me of the doom and gloom of tipping points unless you're willing to also sing about the life force and love that's in the air we breathe. Creativity springs from the liminal space and can reach us through art. You're hearing these words, seeing these shapes, feeling these forms because you're supposed to, right now. I feel fecundity at work here. What do you feel?